Alice had always dreamed of returning to Wonderland, but she never imagined it would happen quite like this. One stormy afternoon, while exploring her grandmother's attic, she found a peculiar pocket watch resting inside a dusty wooden box. The moment she touched it, the hands of the clock spun wildly, and before she could blink, the world around her twisted and shimmered into a swirl of colors. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer in the attic. She stood in a peculiar city where everything, houses, trees, even the sky, was made of ticking gears, cogs, and shimmering gold plates. The air hummed with the sound of turning wheels and chimes. "Welcome back, Alice," came a familiar voice. She turned to see the Cheshire Cat, his grin glowing like neon lights. But instead of disappearing in the usual way, he deconstructed into tiny mechanical parts, then reassembled himself before her. "This isn't Wonderland," Alice said, wide-eyed. "Oh, but it is," the cat purred. Or rather, it was. You see, time had a little tantrum. Before Alice could ask what that meant, a booming voice echoed through the city. "Who dares to disturb the order of time?" A towering figure emerged. A clockwork version of the Mad Hatter, now dressed in royal garb, his top hat adorned with spinning gears. His eyes glowed like the faces of old pocket watches, shifting between minutes and seconds. "The Hatter," Alice gasped. "Correction, King Chronos," the Cheshire Cat whispered. The Hatter-turned king glared at Alice. "Wonderland was once a place of nonsense and whimsy, but I have fixed it. Everything now runs on precise order. No more riddles, no more chaos." Alice looked around. The Queen of Hearts roses now bloomed in perfect symmetry. The White Rabbit moved only in scheduled loops, and even the Mad Tea Party was a dull affair where everyone sipped tea at the exact same time. Wonderland had lost its magic. "But Wonderland isn't supposed to be just orderly," Alice protested. "It thrives on imagination." King Chronos scoffed. "Imagination leads to disorder. Wonderland must tick like a well-oiled machine." Alice knew she had to restore the land's whimsical heart. She reached into her pocket and felt the strange pocket watch that had brought her here. An idea sparked in her mind. "Your Majesty," she said, "shall we have a game?" The king frowned. "A game?" "Yes, a race against time. If I win, Wonderland returns to its original state. If you win, I'll leave forever." Intrigued, King Chronos agreed. The challenge? A labyrinth made of shifting gears, filled with puzzles only imagination could solve. Alice dashed through the maze, hopping across spinning platforms, dodging mechanical ravens, and answering riddles posed by whispering walls. The final challenge was a giant clock face, its hands frozen. Alice took a deep breath, wound up the pocket watch, and let it tick wildly. As soon as she did, colors exploded across the realm. Wonderland twisted and untangled itself from the chains of order, returning to its unpredictable, dreamlike form. The sky turned purple, teapots floated, and the Mad Hatter, the real one, laughed in delight as he popped into existence. King Chronos groaned as his gears loosened. He shrank back into the Mad Hatter, who tipped his hat. "Oh, Alice dear, that was quite the tumble through time." Alice laughed. She had saved Wonderland once more. As the Cheshire Cat grinned one last time, the world around Alice began to blur. She found herself back in the attic, the pocket watch still ticking in her hand. Had it all been a dream? Perhaps, but as she walked away, the watch gave one final tick, and a faint giggle echoed through the room.